So today I am making a recipe called peach chicken. It's actually not a recipe that I found or it wasn't Pinterest or anything. I just kind of made it up one day. We had a peach that was left over that we needed to use before it went bad. And I just kind of did something and Randy really liked it, so we make it. And all that you're going to need, so I make this for 2 people. Obviously you can make more or less just based on how many people you need. I use a whole peach for 2 people. You obviously could use a lot less or a lot more just depending on how fruity you like it. I have 4 chicken tenderloins, or if you were going to do for 2 people, you could also do 2 chicken breasts or chicken thighs. I use about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, about a ½ teaspoon of soy, and then just however much Creole seasoning you like. So it really just depends on how spicy or not spicy you like it. And again, those are not super exact. I kind of eyeball it, but that's about what I use. So I'm going to start by cutting the peach. And you can take the skin off or you can leave the skin on. It really just depends on what you like. I kind of actually like peach skin. I think it gives it a little bit of a texture, and in this it kind of falls off. So I cut it into quarters, and then I cut these slices into just pretty decent sized chunks. They will kind of cook down as you cook them, so you don't need to cut them really small or you'll lose them altogether. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to put these in a bowl off to the side. Okay. And then I put the brown sugar over them to kind of get them starting to get that sweetness in. So like I said, I could measure, and like I said, it's about 2 tablespoons, but I don't measure. I just kind of eyeball what looks good. Sometimes I'll taste the peach and see how sweet it is to see if I need more or less brown sugar. And then I'll just kind of toss these guys in so they kind of start absorbing the brown sugar and it starts dissolving almost. It's going to kind of almost make a glaze with the peach juice. And then we'll cook those guys in a minute. So next I'm going to cut up the chicken. You notice I've moved the peaches off so I don't dirty this cutting board. I always cut the peaches first and get them kind of marinating. I don't want to cut the chicken first because I don't want it to have gross chicken and you have to wash it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I like to cut the chicken in smaller pieces. Randy and I like having more sauce per bite of chicken, so I tend to cut them up so they kind of get more covered. Obviously, if you don't like to, if you'd like to have a whole piece of chicken, you can do that as well. It's just kind of, again, your personal preference. Wash my hands so I don't have gross chicken. And then I dump some of this Creole onto the chicken. Randy and I like things pretty spicy, so I just kind of get it in there, roll it around in it to get some of that Creole spice, and it's going to really offset with the peach and the brown sugar, and it's really delicious. So I'm going to get that all nice and good, wash my hands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt a little bit of butter in the bottom of a pan. You can obviously use olive oil or vegetable oil or something if you'd rather, whatever you like to use. I like to use the butter in this because it works well with the brown sugar, and I really like how it ends up tasting. So then I'm going to melt that in a little bit, get it bubbling a little bit. I'm going to dump my chicken in and cook the chicken first. It's important to cook the chicken before you add the peaches because the peaches cook a lot more quickly, and you want the chicken to be pretty much cooked when you add the peaches in. So I'm going to let these start going. So when I get the chicken to about this stage where it's not obviously cooked all the way through, but it's starting to get brown, this is when I'm going to hit it with the soy sauce. And like I said, it's about a ½ tablespoon, but if you like things more soy-y, you can obviously do more. So I'm going to throw that soy in and toss it around as the chicken's cooking. I tend to use the smell to determine if it has enough soy or not. So I'll start with maybe a little bit less than I think I need, and then if it's really powerful, then I won't put in any more. But if it's not quite as powerful or the color that I want, I'll obviously put in a little bit more. I'll kind of cut a piece of chicken apart to see if it's done. Some people use thermometers, whatever you like to do. I just like to check it and look at it. So I cut this open and it's looking pretty good. Almost a little pink, but almost done. So at this stage, we are going to put in the peaches. Notice that we'll get some of this delicious peach juice mixed with the brown sugar at the bottom. Pour all of that in. Get all of that goopy good stuff out and toss it on in. I'll sometimes like take a piece of chicken and kind of like get all the sauce out of the bowl. That's an easy way for me to not have to like use a rubber spatula, but still get all that good stuff. So then I'm going to turn the heat back up to kind of cook the peaches. The chicken's pretty much done, so by the time the peaches are cooked, it will definitely all be put together. From here, I'll just pretty much go to when the peaches are to my liking. If you want more of a crunch of your peach, you could like do it right now, take it off once the chicken's kind of done. I like a little bit more of my peaches to be like hot and almost a little like melty and wilty and delicious. So I'm going to keep letting them cook until they turn from this bright yellow to more of a like burnt orange brown color. This is now done to the consistency that I like it, so I'm going to take it off the heat. We picked some peas and rice, just some urban butter rice to go with this because it will add a really good flavor with the chicken. So we're just going to pile it up on the plate.